first heard we were doing the Addams Family musical during opening week of the fall play, Our Town. I was on the tech crew for that, so there had already been a lot of rumors circling around of what the musical would be. None of us were really sure what it was going to be. A lot of people were saying, oh, it's going to be Mamma Mia, and a couple others were already thinking it was going to be Addams Family.
I first heard that we were doing the Addams Family musical pretty soon after Our Town ended. And then a couple weeks later, Miss Nickell actually confirmed, like, yes, we got the rights to do Addams Family.
This was gonna be my first high school musical, so I was like, whoa. I was a little nervous, but the Addams Family is just a super cool story to me, and I was actually really excited, and I was really just ready.
Initial thoughts on the Addams Family musical, I was like, there's an Addams Family musical, like, I thought that was just a show, like an old show that was, like, forgotten. But I went into this with no prior knowledge, and, you know, I think it made it a better experience, you know.
So the story of how I found out we were doing the Addams Family for our musical this year is actually kind of a funny one, because I didn't go to Fisher's last semester. I did online school, so I went to Fisher's freshman, sophomore year, but first semester, junior year, I didn't go. And I was considering coming back for second semester of my junior year, and I was talking to a friend whose younger sister goes to Fisher's high school, and this friend, Sam, told me, so I think that instead of Mamma Mia, they're gonna do the Addams Family as the musical next semester at Fisher's, and I was like, you're joking. I have to go back. That's like my favorite show, and I've always wanted to be Wednesday. Like, that would be so cool to be in that show. And so honestly, doing the Addams Family was like a huge part of the deciding factor that I wanted to go back to school second semester.
My initial thoughts were that I was really excited to play because I'd played in the pit in the past and it was really fun. So as soon as I heard about it, I like found Mr. Coons and told him that I wanted to do it.
My audition process was kind of crazy, you know. Me and Corey signed up with 3 other people, but they never showed up, so it was just me and Corey, and we danced and sang by ourselves. And when we both got a call back, I was so excited. And I get to the callback, and Miss Nickell pulls me aside. She's like, I want to see how you do as Granny. I was like, Granny? Like, not even like Lucas or anything, not a boy character. And she's like, no, I've seen a guy play Granny before, and I think you would do really good. And so I tried out for the Granny part, but I don't think it was my thing. Like, she wanted me to go super high, and I was like, ooh, like, I just hit puberty. I'm sorry, like, girl, I'm sorry.
So the audition process for Addams Family was actually really fun. It was one of the least stressful auditions that I think I've done, and part of that I'm pretty sure just comes from being a junior in high school and, you know, having done plenty of choir auditions and musical auditions and play auditions before. But so it was my first week back at school, and I walked up to Miss Nickell and I was like, hey, I know you don't know me, but I want to audition for this musical, but I wasn't here last semester. And she was like, yeah, that's totally fine. We can like write your name down and everything. So that, like, the first day of school, I stayed for the learning session. We learned to dance and everything that we were gonna do as part of our audition. And then we had a set of like sheet music that was the beginning, like the When You're in Addams, like that whole thing was already pre-written for us. And so that's a little different from other auditions I've done. Usually you choose your own music, but in this one, Mrs. Nickell just wanted us all to, you know, do the same song. So we learned that song, and then at the actual audition, it was really stress-free. It was a really nice environment. I was up on stage with like a ton of other girls that I have known forever and been in choir with, so it was really nice. I got to hear everyone sing. We like went down the line and sang our songs. Then we did the whole dance together, and then based off of that, Miss Nickell called people back that she thought, you know, could fit certain roles just from that little snippet that she saw, that she wanted to hear them read lines and, you know, see how they acted and performed and connected with other people. So I originally, because you can write on your paper like what roles you want, and I was just going for any role. I just wanted to be in the show. I think specifically I was thinking a little bit more for Morticia, just because I didn't think I would be cast as Wednesday. I'm really not a Morticia. It makes a lot more sense that I was cast as Wednesday, because I don't know. I guess I look young and I'm petite, so being Wednesday makes a lot of sense physically, but I was like, she's like one of the leads, I don't know if I could even get Morticia, I definitely couldn't get Wednesday, so I just kind of wrote whatever. That's kind of what I always do on audition. I just love being part of things, so I was really excited when I saw the callback list, and I was called back originally to read for the grandma and Morticia, and so I was like, that's so awesome, like I got a callback for 2 different people. But then at the callbacks, Miss Nell came out in the hallway and was like, hey, we want you to come read for Wednesday, and I was like, really? And so I went in there and they handed me the script and I was like, okay, here we go, and I got to read for Wednesday, and then the next day we did another vocal callback, and they had me sing a couple of Wednesday's songs, and they were like, great, you can go home, and I was like, okay, cross fingers. And yeah, when the cast list came out, it was like an unbelievable feeling.
The audition process, a favorite process, normally a really stressful process. It was different the way Miss Nickell did it this year. I think it made it easier for people. She had us all sing the same song and all just do the same dance, and there was no monologue that we had to do, which is quite a relief for people.
They go ahead and before you audition, you have to sign your name on this piece of paper where it was like, here's the date and here's the time. And I go ahead and sign my name, and before any audition started, they went ahead and they said, here, we're gonna have a sort of workshop type of thing. And this is where we're gonna show you some of the songs and what the dance is, and using that dance, you're gonna audition with it.
The call-out meeting was a mess. So first semester I was really on top of everything, organizing everything, but because show choir was going on, I was a mess. So our call-out meeting, we like came up with the date, and then we never actually really talked about what we were going to talk about beforehand, so we kind of do the same thing every time. It's like, who does what, and, what the show is and stuff like that. And so I had made a really rad PowerPoint and brought it, and then it wouldn't load, and then it finally did load in the last 2 minutes. But I think the call meeting went like how it goes every time, but it's a lot of fun though, because I think because it's so unplanned, it allows us to show our personalities and how we all get along, and I think that actually helps people feel like that they'll won't be judged and that they can connect in this group, and that this group is a fun group of people, but yet they do know some things and they can do some things. So
me and Corey have been friends since 8th grade. We actually met during my first musical, Pirates of Penzance. It's crazy because I had a lead and he didn't, and now I don't have a lead but he does, so it's kind of like the tables have turned. But yeah, that's how we met.
Jacob had a lead and I was in ensemble there. But that was when we first meet, and I kind of knew Jacob before Pirates of Penzance, but the musical, just being in it together, we just developed such a close friendship, and it was so amazing, because I had always kind of looked up to him in a way. I always knew who he was, and I always wanted to be friends with him super bad. And Pirates was just a great outlet to get to know him better, and we grew really close, and we've talked basically every single day since the musical, so yes.
Me and Corey were kind of shocked but not surprised that the rest of our group didn't show up, because I knew some of them and Corey knew some of them, and they're not really the most responsible, if that's what I'm trying to say. But I felt kind of relieved because it was just gonna be me and Corey. The spotlight was on me and him, and there was no one else to take that spotlight away from us. So I think it was more of a relief than a nerve wreck, if that makes sense.
So Jacob and I were standing there outside of the big doors to go into the auditorium for our audition, and we were just kind of standing there, and we were just kind of hello? We were just waiting. We were waiting for the rest of the people to show up, and I looked at the list, and she called I think Allison, she called everyone on the time slot in for the audition, and me and Jacob were the only ones standing there, and we were just I was what do I do? Oh my gosh, I just remember the fear. I could literally feel my heartbeat rise, and I could my hand started shaking, and I just looked at Jacob and I was whoa. I was like, what are we about to like get ourselves into?
Me back that loved singing, loved performing, because I don't want to go into it professionally or anything, but I really enjoy telling stories and being on stage and being surrounded by the people that I love, doing something that I love. And so getting this opportunity to do that on stage with my best friends was amazing. And reading down that cast list, I was like, this is the perfect cast. This is amazing. It was just so many people who really fit the role that they were given. And two of my very best friends, both Kira and Savannah, got like the lead roles that they really wanted to be, that they fit so well. And so just seeing that, everything kind of felt like it clicked into place. And I think it was, the reason I felt so excited was because it was a unanimous feeling of excitement throughout everyone who read that cast list. Everyone really just had so much hope for what the show would be, and we're just really excited to see it all unfold and come together, which was, I mean, that's the way that you want to start off a show. That's the way that you want to start off any kind of project that you're putting together. So we were really excited about that for sure.
The cast list, I remember this so vividly. So again, Jacob and I are in 7th period choir. And as soon as the bell rings, like the moment the bell rings, me and Jacob just push open the doors to the choir room and we are sprinting through the hallway. We were sprinting through the hallway all the way to the black box, and we are like, we're not like pushing people, but we're like, people are getting out of our way because we are speeding to the cast list. And I just remember I got there and it was just insane seeing my name as Uncle Fester. I just remember being so proud of myself, and I saw that Jacob got casted as an ancestor, and I was so excited to keep working with him. It was just such a surreal experience, like just running. I felt like nothing else mattered. I felt like nothing else was happening besides me looking at that cast list, and I need to get there as soon as I can. And it was just wild. There was like a bunch of people grouped around it, and I was just like trying to see over them, but it was really crazy. And
okay, so me and Corey have choir 7th period, and the cast list will go up at the end of the day. So we were nervous all day, and I was not sure what was gonna happen. I didn't know if Miss Nickell liked my granny impersonations or I just didn't get cast at all. So I was really nervous. I was a nervous wreck, and Corey was nervous too, but I was like, there's nothing for you to be nervous about because you killed your audition. I had to sit through all the auditions because she wanted to talk to me at the end, and I saw everyone. So I kind of had an inkling of who was going to get who or what was going to get what. But yeah, Corey killed his audition, and I had no doubt that he was going to get Fester. But I was really nervous to see what I got, and I was even nervous that I wasn't even going to get casted. So we ran to the casting list, and we look at the names, and I was upset that I didn't get Granny because, who doesn't want to lead? But really, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I would have been on stage, I was on stage more as an ancestor than I would have been as Granny. And I really like the way my character developed as an ancestor. So I really think that it was just a good thing that I wasn't casted as Granny, because I don't think I could have took it in the direction Maddie Ann could have took it in. But I was having so much fun being an ancestor, and I met like one of my closest friends being an ancestor, so I wouldn't have it any other way.
But the journey's now completed.
Oh Mel, I missed you, pumpkin. Come to mama.
I'm gonna treasure you in death as well as life. I'm gonna cut you with my love and with my love. You can live as my tormentor and power. Crazier than you. I'm crazier than you. And never die, I'll let you have control. I'm crazier than you. Don't say you love me too. From here on in, you're singing to my soul.